Greetings. Greetings. I'm trying to put this on gallery now. Okay. Greetings from San Antonio, everybody. One day I was doing a storytelling for about 100 third and fourth graders over at Nelson Elementary School on the near west side of San Antonio. And these 100 third and fourth graders were in a big room, and they were all sitting on the floor on their little nap blankets. And I said to them in the beginning, I said, kids, the stories I'm going to tell you are myths. Does anyone know what a myth is? And there was only one little girl sitting about 10 rows back with pigtails, and she stood up, put her hands on her hips, and she said, yes, a myth is a story that's true on the inside, but not on the outside. I thought, oh my goodness, what a perfect definition for a myth. See, a lot of people misunderstand myth and mythology. Mythology is not a lie. Mythology is poetry. It is metaphor. And it's once been said that mythology is the closest thing to truth, other than silence, other than those best things in our lives which cannot be adequately described with words. One day, while we were walking one of the many, many beautiful nature trails here in San Antonio, my fiance, Dixie Lee, joyously shook her head and said, how in the world could this be happening? And what she was referring to was our relationship, our love, our courtship, the many magical connections that had happened to bring us back together. You see, 40 years earlier, she and I were in college together. We were not lovers, we were good friends. We studied together, we drank coffee together, we loved listening to each other and talking to each other. Sorry, I lost my thought there. As years went by, everything changed. We lost just about everything of importance that we ever knew. Old other lovers were gone. We were each alone. And we both had the COVID flu. We were alone, hundreds of miles apart, she in San Antonio, me in Oklahoma. And we were sick and quarantined. But you know, sometimes love can sneak into your soul at the most inappropriate or most unusual times. And on June 29th, 2022, just 2.5 years ago, Dixie was listening to music from her computer. And the sweet voices of the Eagles slipped into her heart. I was standing all alone against the world outside. You were searching for a place to hide. Lost and lonely, now you've given me the will to survive. When we're hungry, love will keep us alive. And when she heard that song, she thought of me, her secret love, her friend from college. This was a secret that she had not shared or revealed to me or anyone else for over 40 years. Oh, we stayed in touch a little bit with a holiday card every now and then, but for over 40 years, we had not seen each other and we had not talked to each other. And then that day, she picked up her phone and sent me a message. The message was simple. It said, I think we've lost touch. I haven't received a card from you for over 2 years. Are you okay? I called her right then. And that first day, we talked for an hour. And the second day, I called her and we talked for 2 hours. And then for the next 30 days, every day we talked, sometimes off and on for the entire day. It seemed like we just talked about everything. We talked about our favorite songs, our favorite books, our favorite movies. We talked about our careers and our fears and our dreams. And every day we always shared long distance coffee early in the morning. And we told each other good night at the end of each day. Now, time passed, and there we were, back there on that nature trail, now acting like a couple of college kids in love, planning our wedding. And once again, she joyously shook her head and said, how in the world could this be happening to us? And I said, I think we can blame Plato. And she said, what? What do you mean? And I said, well, when I was teaching philosophy over there at the college, one of my favorite topics was Plato's dialogues that talked about this group of Greek philosophers, teachers, and writers who had a little group of storytellers that met once a month. And the only difference between that and our TSA guilds that we have, and we meet once a month, the only thing about Plato's group was that they always had the same topic. Every month it was the same thing: praise for Eros, the Greek god of love. And one night, Aristophanes, who was a well-known playwright, was telling the group about how he was falling in love with this brilliant, beautiful woman from over on the east side of Athens. And he said to them, he said, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. He said, I think this woman may be more goddess than human. He said, I can't eat, I can't sleep. She's the only thing I think about all the time. And he said, once in a while, I catch myself just walking around town with this goofy look on my face, and people think I'm crazy. And Plato said to him, said, oh, take it easy, buddy. Said, we're all here for you. And he said, besides, there's a good reason for all this going on. Plato said, you see, back at the beginning of time, there were thousands of these strange looking creatures that were called twin souls. And these twin souls were like big and round like a ball. They had 4 arms and 4 legs, only one head that had 2 faces looking in different directions. They were humans that were fused together back to back. And there were 3 types of these twin souls. Some of them were 2 males fused together back to back. Some were 2 females fused together back to back, but most were a male and a female bound together back to back. And they were powerful creatures. They had the strength of 2 people. And their strength was based on love. And they could move fast. They could roll in any direction. Well, King Zeus got a little worried about this, thinking if these creatures are going to get so powerful, they might challenge his authority. And so Zeus took his big, powerful thunder sword and sliced them all right in half, sending each half into the universe to forever search for their other half, their twin soul. And Plato said to Aristophanes, he said, you see, I think what's going on with you is that you found your twin soul, and that's a good thing. Now, when I finished that explanation, Dixie said, you know, when I first met you 40 some years ago, I had this feeling that I'd always known you and that I have always loved you. And she said, now I understand completely why all of this is happening. And I wrote a song about it. The title of the story and the title of the song was Blame It on Plato. Sometimes we ask, how can this be, this love so sweet and true? She said, I knew in my heart from the very start that I have always loved you. We love to snuggle back to back, perhaps this is a clue. We're bound together everywhere and in everything we do. Let's blame it on Plato and Greek mythology. Everybody has a twin soul, so says old Socrates. A myth is a learning story, its truth may be disguised. The proof is in the love we feel in our hearts down deep inside. It's true, you are my mirror twin, my darling next of kin. Sometimes we finish what the other one says before we can begin. With your body next to mine, the two melt into one. Come dance with me, for the music has just begun. Let's blame it on Plato and Greek mythology. Everybody has a twin soul, so says old Socrates. A myth is a learning story, its truth may be disguised. The proof is in the love we feel in our hearts down deep inside. King and Queen Hera said to old King Zeus, you've made a big mistake. Cutting up a soul can take its toll and scare Medusa's snakes. She said, I know you love to play with your sword, this is plain to see, but they will always find their love throughout eternity. Let's blame it on Plato and Greek mythology. Everybody has a twin soul, so says old Socrates. A myth is a learning story, its truth may be disguised. The proof is in the love we feel in our hearts down deep inside. I can't help myself from loving you, my darling Dixie Lee, so I'll just blame old Plato. I said I'll just blame old Plato and Greek mythology. Back to you, John.